Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Honorable Principal Sir Dr. M. Bedkar, members of organizing committee, and dear participants from different disciplines. It is a matter of honor for me that I am given this opportunity to share my views on the topic transformational elements in the Gita. Sir, I am audible? Okay, thank you, sir. At the outset, I would like to say that Gita is a renowned work and transformation change is very essential in every field of life, especially our inside life, life of thoughts and emotions. Actually, personal transformation is the motivation and discipline to grow, develop, and improve in one's personal, professional, and spiritual life. Generally speaking, an individual identifies himself with his body, mind, complexes, class, caste, or creed, and at the most with his nationality and religion. And how we are absorbed in all these complexities, the Gita gives us solution that how we can come out of them. About Gita, all we know that Bhagavad Gita is a holy scripture written by Maharishi Vedvyas ji. This holy text has 18 chapters in 700 shlokas. This work is extensively read in today's world. The people study this book with great reverence and interest. I would like to add, it was first translated into English by Charles Wilkins in 1785 in London and again by Sir Edwin Arnold in 1867. Actually, it is not easy to mention the correct date of the Bhagavad Gita. It is almost unknown, but it is widely believed that it was written several hundred of years before the Christ. We know that this holy scripture deals with all aspects of life, whether they are physical, mental, moral, or spiritual. In today's session, my focus is on self-transformation. What do we mean by self-transformation? It refers to the knowledge attained through sustained efforts to become able to realize the true nature of I. What gets transformed is basically the concept of ourselves the divided self becomes whole. What happens in our day-to-day life, what we see that at any step of the way, when we are on our path for the realization of the truth, the process of self evolvement can be interrupted, frustrated, blocked, sidetracked. That leads a person to become fragmented, split, or alienated. This is the scenario of today's world. There can be number of factors or reasons behind this state of a person. The present world and today's modern man leads a mostly seen split life, and now the different kind of gadgets have even added to this situation. Now we see that the today's student and we ourselves are remain engaged in so many things at a time. Indeed, in the process of self discovery, it is imperative that one develops. Sorry, I have skipped something that I wish to say that in today's session, my focus is on self transformation, and self transformation is that the realization of our real self. And in this process, many times we are disturbed by many outside factors. Then what happens, that how we can overcome this situation? Indeed, it can be said in the process of self discovery, it is imperative that one develops a strong character, a distinct and unwavering sense of self identity. Actually, what is today, we are not familiar with ourselves. We are away from ourselves. We don't know the true nature of our spirit, our soul, that where do we stand. And this is the need of the hour, to know that how we can become closer to ourselves. This is how, here what happens in the Bhagavad Gita. We know very well, this is widely known, that Arjuna, the great hero of his time, was confined to his limited reign of world consciousness. What was that world consciousness? That he was associating himself with his family, with his cousins, that he feels very much helpless to fight against the battle for the justice. And in order to liberate Arjuna from this delusion of I and mine, Lord Krishna imparted him vision divine. And with the help of this divine vision, Arjuna could really realize his true being at three levels. That is at cosmic level, consciousness, and supreme consciousness, the supreme self. Here I would like to quote from the book, Do not yield to unmanliness, O Parth. It is not worthy of you. What is very, very important? Have faith in yourself. Stand up and fight the battle of life with firmness of mind, clarity, and inner strength. I would like to add to these qualities of a person that we all need this kind of firmness of mind, clear vision, and always with our inner strength. That how we can stop failing from deteriorating our inner strength. Gita gives us that mantra. In the path of everyday life, if we can work or act as Arjun did under the instruction of Shri Krishna, and if we take advice of our buddhi, that is intelligence, its right direction, then we can reach the real goal of our life. Then we can be familiar with our inner soul. To conclude, Lord Krishna says, do not fear from the change, because change is the only constant and it is always good. Here I also want to add from the book which I have read, that is will help to conclude my topic, and I would like to share with you what I have read, that the nature of the soul is not bound by any law, but our own mind, body, and senses are bound by these laws. And if one can hold oneself on the plane which is above all the laws, and one is free from them in his life, but if one's identity, oneself with those things subject to law, one cannot get out of them. One is always found himself bound, and that is the idea very strong in this philosophy of work, that what is those who have given up all results of their works and work with no desires, either in this world or in heaven, become free from birth and death and go to the abode of eternal happiness. Those who have succeeded in meditating upon the true nature of the self or the Atma, they have realized that state of blissfulness, happiness, peacefulness, whenever, wherever any disturbance comes to one's daily life, if one can go above that state, shutting oneself off from the external world and the conditions and turmoils that surround one, and one can hold one, and those one finds that peacefulness and happiness which every individual is longing for. The devotees of the Supreme Being or the knowers of the true self go to the same goal, and the goal is eternal happiness, existence, intelligence, and perfection. With these words, I would like to conclude my simple talk on self transformation. And actually, I want to share that these things I have experienced in my life also. It is just now that I have felt inclined towards reading this book and going for research. This is my one step. I am a novice in this field, but even before reading that book, some values are always with us which are working behind our strength. And in many conditions, when we feel disabled, disturbed, or alienated, or we can say frustrated, then it is only when patience comes to our help and when we collect our inner strength, then we are changed personalities. Then happiness never um, get away from us. It is always with us, within us. Just it must be our effort to know that what can make us truly happy. This is how, so this I could prepare for today's talk.
Good evening, Pratibha ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
and good evening, all of you. Thank you, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Betkar sir, Prashant Ogade sir, and Dr. Prakash Karad sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. You
Thank,
you have made a very nice presentation.
thank you, sir.
Your lecture is informative, knowledgeable, and interactive session.
Thank you.
This topic is very good. Your guest lecture is beneficial and fruitful to uh, all participants. I have one question, ma'am.
Thank you.
First question is uh, how Bhagavad Gita can transform your life.
It transformed in the sense now I can associate with my past and the knowledge I am gaining from the Bhagavad Gita as I have tagged to this path that inner strength is the most needed because many years back, I was not such a kind of confident person. I was very shy, hesitant, and many times uh, kept mum. Even when somebody has said me or exploited me on any topic, but with the passage of time, on some value system, gathering strength, and with the help of positive thinking. And actually, sir, I wish to say here that I am very much habitual of listening to good speakers. As there is from Brahmkumari's Madam Shivani and many such other persons, and I am disciple of Dr. Divyananji Maharaj. Dr. Gyanananji is there. I am used to listening to their lectures and it gives me internal happiness and I have always collected that inner strength. Is I think that it is because of that inner strength that I have changed my mind for my PhD on this topic. That I have to study something. I have to do research. Then I felt that why not the Gita? That will change my life.
I think that your explanation is wonderful and excellent. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Uh, I congratulate today's resource person and chief organizers. Thank you. Thank you so much, respected Principal Dr. M. Betkar sir, Prashant Ogade sir, and Prakash Karad sir. Thanks a lot.
I would request the participants to add to my knowledge in this topic. That will be a great help to me also.
Okay, ma'am.
Good evening, Dr. M. Betkar, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My question is, what activity you want to suggest to us to transform our thoughts and in daily life situation?
Sir, I would like to say that meditation is very much needed. All around we ourselves found that we are in some kind of turmoil, whether it is inner or the outer. And at that time, we must find some minutes to charge ourselves with positive thoughts. By keeping silence and believing in meditation. Because what is my habit in the morning when I have to wake up, that I would definitely spend 10 to 15 times in meditation. I will feel relaxed, then I will move for day to day activities. And the same thing in my college duties, in the staff room when we sit, gossip is going on. Many sometimes those things are also discussed which you don't feel interested in, or meditating such things which disturb you. At that time, we need some meditation. And one can go into the silence, one can change that place, and if needed, then definitely we have to comment upon the things. I feel then we remain focused on our real facts where we should work upon.
Thank you, madam. My next question is how to continue good habits every day.
Sir, I would like to say it is a training of the mind. If in the night we have thought that I have to wake up at 6, with this thought, if we would sleep, then naturally I experience. If I have slept with a strong inclination that I have to wake up at 5:30 or 6, definitely you will wake up at 1 hour or half hour before that time. These things starts happening. Train your thoughts, mind,
I
and
think
it becomes a habit.
I think self transformation is not easy, but you suggested some nice activities for in daily life situations. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice question.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Bedkar, sir.
Good evening.
Prashant, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Wonderful presentation you have made, and especially explore the, how to utilize, this kind of science. It is a spiritual science, what we can say, and it is a really, you'll find one of the very important thing that when we are dealing with Bhagavad Gita, I think many of us go with the shlokas, and many of us go with that explanation of that shloka also, but are not doing what is called as a meditation. We should do a meditation, and we should think what has been mentioned over there. So many of the time, I'm reading on a daily basis. But whenever I read, the same chapter, same thing, I get some new ideas and new concepts. So what is very important is, meditation of this shlokas and, understanding these shlokas. It is not just a story, but you'll find there is a great moral and great teaching and great preaching is there behind. So I think we have to understand this. And we are so fortunate, we have taken a birth on this land, and we are having great literatures and the great spiritual holy books are there with us. So definitely they are helping us in developing oneself. And one very important thing is, we have to realize, our self-realization has to be done with the help of Bhagavad Gita. So where I'm going right and where I'm going wrong, I think that discrimination is possible with Bhagavad Gita. So that is a wonderful thing, what I feel, with the Bhagavad Gita. And many of the times you were talking about no desires, Vishay, that there should be no desires. Of course, for the human being, it becomes so difficult to have no needs and no greeds and nothing is will be there. But yes, definitely one has to think on this very important aspect, because every day we want something. The desires are always there. So I think we have to bring down those desires with the help of such a spiritual books. And definitely, we can think much better way when our emotions are not getting involved in our work. So Bhagavad Gita is really one of the wonderful, what we can say, a kind of a path we can get a path, we can get our path get illuminated with such a wonderful book and shlokas, and especially the advice given to Krishna to Arjuna, and we should place ourselves at the Arjuna's place, I think, and then we can realize, many of the times, sometimes decisions become so tough for us, whether we should go for this or no. I think, yeah, definitely, what Krishna has done, we have to think in that way. So definitely Bhagavad Gita is one of the very important, what I say, element in my life, of course. And what is very important is self-realization. It takes place with this kind of shlokas and Bhagavad Gita and such a spiritual knowledge. So thank you very much, madam, for exploring this topics. 18 shlokas are there. I will conclude the last shloka. Yatra yogeshwaro krishna yatra partho dhanodhara tatra sri vijay bhrutir dhruvar netir matir mama. So with this word, I will conclude myself. Thank you very much, ma'am, for exploring and bringing this knowledge to us. Thank you.
Actually, thank you, sir. What I was saying that in the times to come, I would be reading it rather more carefully, more meaningfully. As a student, I was a student of Sanskrit subject also. We had a beautiful teacher with us, Madam Shanta Gurover, who used to teach us very beautifully. She was a very intelligent teacher. Now, at this stage of my life, I am again going back to those slokas, and I would be reading and keeping in mind also that I can recite before all of you when I have memorized them. And sir, you were talking about desires. In that regard, I would like to say that many times we help many people in our life. There the knowledge can help us that without any expectation we can help many people. When expectation comes and when they have not responded us in the same way, then we don't feel disturbed. There that mantra comes to our help.
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. That is very much there. And I think to get the state of Stita Pradnya, I think Bhagavad Gita shlokas are very useful, and, one can achieve what is called as Turya Avastha also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And if we connect the things with the present scenario, we often feel that psyche is disturbed. Medical students, you can say, are so much, many times disturbed with the times of competition. Then if the parents as teachers, we can keep sharing such kind of things with our students, it can help them a lot.
Yeah,
I have to make a point.
I think, yeah, I will conclude. I think, we should go with this kind of, what we can say, spiritual element with our children and our students, because it has to be carried forward, and we have to make them understand, very important, because many of the people are finding out Bhagavad Gita now from today's point of scenario or something like that. But what it means, really, and how it can be implemented, that is what, we have to teach them, rather than, mugging some slogas and going with the Bhagavad Gita. That is what I want to say. Thank you.
Any question from participant?
Yes, I have to make a point.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I am Vidyanath Jha, Dr. Vidyanath Jha from Bihar, a retired professor of botany. Two botanical connotations, at least I have come across in the Bhagavad Gita. One is Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakham Ashwatha Prahurabhyayam. This refers to the peepal tree. Urdhva Moolam, it has got its roots on the top, and its branches are just leaning downwards. Now, this refers to our ecological principle that in the trees of the family Moraceae, I think all these species of Ficus, Ficus religiosa, that is people, Ficus bengalensis, that is burger, all other species of Ficus for that matter, they have got very small seeds, but the plant size is enormous, the size of the tree is enormous, but the size of their fruits and seeds are very small. Now, Ashwatha Prahurabhyayam Urdumulam Adashakam. Now, every tree of a ficus species is a system in itself. A number of other animals, they get shelter over these trees, they get food from these trees, and that way a full ecosystem. Every tree nurses a full ecosystem. So this way, this botanical connotation, how the trees, how they reach upside of a building, big building. Now this is on account of the birds feeding upon the seeds and fruits of these trees. So they go and there is digestion of the food material that they have ingested in their alimentary canal, and they defecate on the top of a tree, on the top of a building, and there the seed germinates, and the plant sprouts, seeds sprout, germinate there, and there take the big trees, they take their roots over those big buildings. So this has been mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Then another point is Padma Patra Mivam Bhasa. This is a philosophical connotation, how a man should live in the world. Just like the leaves, are just like the water droplets, they move on the surface of the lotus leaves. So a concept has come out in recent years, recent decades, that is lotus effect. Now, a German scientist, German botanist, he took this connotation and he deciphered the principle lying therein, scientific principle lying therein, because the leaves of the lotus have waxy deposits. Our ancient seers, they just had a glimpse of this phenomenon. But when electron microscope came some 50 years back, 60 years back, it was possible to decipher that it is the waxy deposit over a lotus leaf surface that doesn't allow the water to just to wet the surface. So it becomes round and round and keeps on floating. So these two principles, at least botanical principles, are there inscribed in the Bhagavad Gita that has fascinated us. And I think I have got fascinated too much by this age-old concept that have now been deciphered scientifically. So this was the point that I had to mention. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for adding to our knowledge with these two connotations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
जी जी थैंक यू
last part of that program is a vote of thanks. First of all, I express my deep sense of gratitude, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Bedkar sir, for their support, cooperation, appropriate guidance, and well wishes for every times. I also express sincere thanks to Dr. Pratibha ma'am. She has given time and she explained transformation element in the Gita. Thirdly, I am thankful to all participants to attending this international e-conference. And lastly, I am thanking to Dr. Sanand Shukla sir, Chamkor sir, and Dr. Jha sir. With permission of chairperson, today's e-conference is over.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.